Oh, let me tell you something. Busting makes me feel good.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Blockbusting, the podcast where we love to hate the movies. I'm your host, Jay Light. Joining me today, Kyle Rehl.
What's up? How's it going, guys?
Kyle, it's so nice to have you here.
Dude, thank you so much for having me. This is a lovely studio.
You're one of the few people who's during coronavirus actually recorded here in the studio. So very happy to have you physically able to see this.
I'm courageous.
Beautiful spot.
Yeah.
Your profiles and courage, Kyle Rehl. For those of you who haven't yet, you should. Kyle has been publicly ashamed. It's not the right word, but you got an article in the AV Club written about you because you were did not know who Zack Snyder was in the audience.
Yes, yeah. I was at a crowd work show performing and just happened to ask someone what their name was, and he was like kind of giving me attitude. So I just roasted him. And then I found out on stage it was Zack Snyder, and then I immediately regretted every decision I've ever made.
Well, Kyle, I am so happy to have you on. I like you as a dude. It's nice.
Thanks, man.
It's nice you're doing well, and you survived coronavirus. You're
so
still
far
a husky man who's strapping, but you've got an opinion that I'm not happy with.
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
And
let's break some bread over this.
Break some bread. You don't like Uncut Gems?
No. Not at all. Wasn't for me, start to finish. Didn't enjoy it.
Oh, my God.
And you know what? I think it might just be a Safdie Bros thing, because I also watched Good Time, and I hated that movie.
Interesting.
And to me, they're the same movie with different characters. Like, the structure of the movie, it just starts at a fall from grace, and then it's a character trying to dig himself out of this hole, but everything he does only makes it worse for himself. And then it just is a total tragedy from start to finish. Like, there is no like part at the beginning where you're like aligned with the character and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, everything, this is the normal world that he lives in. And like, I feel for this guy, I can relate to this person. It's just like, no, we're starting right away and it's conflict. My other problem.
See, so far we don't
ranting.
We don't disagree. But all the things that you don't like are things that I'm like, yeah, this is why this movie's great.
Which I will say is fair. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna genre shame anybody. But yeah, to me it was just like the same beat over and over. People being like, Howard. Like every scene was like someone yelling at Howard because he like is being an asshole. Mm-hmm. And I just got bored of it. I mean, I was anxious, but I was bored anxious, if that makes sense. Like,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Instead of, because that's I remember the thing that I felt very much. I've seen this movie 3 times in theaters. I'm a big fan of this movie.
Total opposite.
We're total opposite ends of the spectrum. It's a movie that I and a lot of other people talk in the sense of like, all right, this is a movie that's a very tense, anxiety-inducing movie, right? And it's kind of the hallmark of the whole thing is it's sort of like designed in a way where it's like, all right, nothing ever lets up.
Yes,
it's a very oppressive movie on every element of like you don't like the characters, you don't like the music,
right?
You don't. Yes. It's real, just like everybody's making bad choices. And you're just like,
Jay, I think you're a masochist, man. Like,
I'm a little bit.
You like feeling that anxious so much that you went back and to the movie theater 3 times. Mm-hmm. That I'm in awe of that, sir. Do you like horror movies?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Do you not like horror movies?
I'm cool with horror movies. Like, I can watch some of them, but I'm not like super into horror movies. But I feel like if you like horror movies a lot, then you would like this movie because it's kind of the same.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's a horror movie.
Not as much. Well, there's a broken leg at the beginning.
Yeah.
I thought the intro was cool. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, we're seeing the origins of the gym, and like, we're seeing like, oh, it's in Africa and these guys aren't treated well. And then like there's this whole international thing going on with like Chinese companies taking over, resources in Africa. And that's highlighted a little bit at the beginning. Mm-hmm. So I was like, cool. And also I will say this, I mean, this movie, probably one of the most overhyped movies in the world to me. I think the hype didn't help.
I can understand that.
The hype made me resent it so much more.
Because that was the reason that I was like, I flagged that you said this.
Yeah.
Because you said it was the most overhyped movie that you've ever seen.
I think I stand by that statement. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, hey, so far
we both agree that it's hyped.
Agree that it's very hyped.
It's hyped, but it met your expectations and it did not meet mine.
It didn't just meet my expectations. Okay, it exceeded my expectations. It was
so it's underhyped in your.
It's so underhyped. How do people not like this movie? I don't understand it. But okay.
Go, what were you gonna say?
I have a question for you.
Hit me with it.
I would imagine, because you tweeted about this after it came out on Netflix.
Yes.
You didn't see it in theaters, right?
I did not. Yeah.
Did you have any friends who talked about seeing it in theaters? Did you was it like on your radar at all?
Yeah, it was. I had a couple friends and they all liked it.
Okay.
So, that made me more upset. And it kind of made me question my friendships.
Okay.
If I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to question your friendships, I highly recommend Uncut Gems. It'll make you curious about your friend's taste. And then I don't think I'll listen to anything they tell me to watch ever again.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because I had people who are on your side of it who are like, dude, such a good fucking movie. And then, I saw Good Time before this movie. Mm-hmm. So maybe that had some, but everyone I watched Good Time with also didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't understand what compels a human being, let alone two human beings, two brothers, to write a movie and film a movie and edit a movie. That takes several years. Apparently this movie took 10 years in the making. They wrote it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Originally.
And they asked Adam Sandler to make it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it.
Yeah. And what compelled them to make this movie? Because I don't get what the takeaway is supposed to be. Gambling is bad? Got it. Okay. Well, I won't gamble.
Good.
I won't do it.
Congrats.
Thanks, Safdie Bros.
He's a strong man right here who's not going to succumb to his vices or his demons.
I just the characters are irredeemable. I saw someone on YouTube had this their interpretation of the ending. Mm-hmm. And they're kind of talking about how Adam, well, I don't know. Should we talk about this when we do the ending actually?
We can bring it back.
Okay.
But talk about it now. If this is the thing, because this is the ending, it's interesting if somebody's like, oh, I have an interpretation of the ending. What's there to interpret? It's pretty
it's cut and dry. Yeah, that's why I clicked on it. I was like, what do you mean interpretation? I know what happened. But he was basically saying that so Adam Sandler gets shot in the face. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, when that happens, I feel nothing. I don't feel anything. I don't feel relief. I don't feel bad for Adam Sandler.
What?
I'm just so I just watched 2 hours and 14 minutes of this movie, and you just shot this dude as soon as he gets any kind of relief.
I'm about to walk out of my own podcast.
Wait. Also, why the fuck does Adam Sandler buzz those guys back in to his store? He could have just buzzed them with the other door to have them leave, but knowing this guy has a gun that he flaunted and he's behind bulletproof glass and he's already pissed this guy off 800 times in this movie. He's okay, I'll let you in now. What are you thinking?
Because Howard is a fucking idiot.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's what? But I can't watch a movie where the guy is an idiot and he's making horrible choices the whole time. I don't feel bad for him at all at any point. So when he dies, I don't care. So going back to this interpretation video thing.
Go back.
Someone was he gets shot in the face and then they zoom in on the bullet hole and then it becomes the ethereal world similar to
from the
gym.
Very beginning of the movie.
Yeah. So basically what he's saying is Howard is the uncut gem. He's this raw guy on the outside, but on the inside he's beautiful. And I'm at what point in the movie is he beautiful? He just seems like a shitty person.
I will posit this. I think actually, I know that I kind of shat on somebody interpreting the end of the movie, but you know what? That's actually a good interpretation because I agree with that.
Defend yourself.
Howard, I don't have to defend this is my podcast. You defend yourself. Here's what I think is that Howard, part of the reason I identify so much with this movie and why I like it is because I'm not a gambling addict, but I have alcoholism and addiction. I'm in recovery, blah, blah, blah.
Gotcha.
Right? So I see the behavior that Howard is doing.
Right.
And I understand that because I understand that it's not, for him, it's more than just compulsion, right? For him, it's clearly gotten to the level of like, oh, we're watching a sick man here, who's like lost complete control.
For sure.
And I think there are moments when Howard as a character is, for almost the entire movie, running off of just adrenaline and anxiety and he's just trying to figure out his next move because he's trying to keep himself from getting cornered.
Right.
The moment when he gets cornered, which happens a couple times. There's one moment where with his wife at the Passover dinner, right? Is it Passover? I forget which Jewish holiday celebrated in this movie.
So, yeah, you're talking about the scene where she's wearing the pink dress?
Yes.
Well, he kind of comes in on her, though.
Right, but that's the thing is he comes in on her, yes, like physically he goes to the room, but in the relationship he's cornered. In the relationship he knows he's on the outs. He's trying to find he's trying to get himself out from that corner and say, hey, listen, I don't want this divorce.
Okay.
And he has this moment of honesty and levity, which Howard doesn't have with anybody in the entire movie.
Right.
And then cut to after the auction happens and Howard is back in his office and he's, his nose is bloodied and he sends everybody home for the day.
Yeah.
And Julia comes in and, by the way, just a fucking great like comedy scene. Starts out with Howard being very vulnerable and like crying and just saying like, I'm so sad, I'm so fucked up. And then Julia's like, no, it's okay. Look, and she shows a tattoo of his name on her ass.
That is the best part of the movie.
It's a great part of the movie.
She has a great ass.
She has a great ass. Follow Julia Fox. Great follow on Instagram.
And she's great in that movie.
She is.
I think all the performances are good for the most part.
Yeah.
No problem with the performances.
KG.
Dude, how weird is it that KG got a script sent to him where the whole premise is, hey, so in the 2012 semifinals of the NBA playoffs, the reason why you did so good is because you bought this uncut gem from this weird dude in New York.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, okay. That sounds great.
Totally. That sounds great.
Like, I have no problem with that. I just think that's really funny. It's like so strange. Like that's the first, I think this is the first movie he's acted
his first acting job ever.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm playing myself. And the reason why I'm really good at basketball in this movie is because
I believe in the power of a rock.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that sequence. The Safdies have such a very like a distinct directing style, right? Where you're assaulted with senses and all this visual and audio stuff. But even the scene where like he grabs the rock for the first time, and then it flashes to all of the imagery.
Yeah,
it's like,
I thought that part was cool.
It's cool, but it's also like it's very weird. It's the kind of thing that KG, I can't imagine him reading and being like, yeah, this sounds great.
I feel like if Adam Sandler wasn't already attached to it at that point, he would have been like, nah, I don't know who these guys are. These guys are just like writing weird fan fiction. What if it was a fan fiction script about KG? That's the origin of the script.
Well, we would have probably Howard sucking off KG at some point.
Yeah, they probably had to cut that scene.
Yeah. Cut gems. There we go. But that's the thing is like Howard has these moments, at least from my point of view, where he has this moment of like he allows himself to be vulnerable and show that thing.
Right.
But you're also 100% right. Like this is it's interesting. Sometimes when people talk about a movie that they don't like that I really like, I can't get past my own point of view.
Yes.
But this is so interesting. We're in like horseshoe theory right now. Where like we're at the same, we've hit the same conclusion.
The reasons why you like it
are the reasons why I don't like it.
Yeah.
But like this is the thing. So did you watch it by yourself?
I watched it with my girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did she feel the same way about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think
that happens too. Like when you watch a movie with someone, it's kind of like this tribal, like we're all feeling the same thing. Because like for me, like I watched Get Out when it first came out in theaters, and everyone in the theater fucking like loved it. But I know a lot of people who watched it like by themselves, or like with another person who didn't like it, and you just like feed off of the energy of the other person.
Yeah.
So I mean, that might have added to it for my viewing experience.
It might have.
Also, this person also doesn't like it, so then we're just kind of like in an echo chamber.
Also, as I've learned watching some movies during this crazy pandemic that we're in, it's not the best time to watch a movie that's like demanding you feel a lot of pressure and stress.
Sure. It's not timely.
Not a timely movie for that.
No, it isn't.
The last time I saw Uncut Gems was at the New Beverly before everything got shut down. Yeah. And it was my favorite time seeing it because I seen it twice beforehand in Texas when I was back visiting my parents for the holidays.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry. One time here in LA, then one time in Texas, then one time back here. But both the times I saw it before the last time, I saw it basically by myself. Mm-hmm. And the theater was busy, but it wasn't like a rousing crowd because nobody really knew what to do with the movie, I don't think.
Yeah.
Because you see... I mean, this is a great time. Let's watch the trailer. You hear Adam Sandler's going to be in a movie.
Dude.
And you're
he's
like,
great.
Yeah, he's great. And you're like, all right, it's a drama, interesting. Adam Sandler he's got some acting chops.
For sure.
It'd be interesting to see what he does. And then I was a big fan of Good Times, so I was like, Safdie Brothers, this is going to be cool. And I watched the movie the first couple times, and I was like, this is weird. But I like it. I feel the tension. And
you vibed with it.
Yeah, I really vibed with it. But then the third time I saw it, I realized that it also is a comedy. Because there were parts that everybody in the theater was laughing at that they hadn't laughed at before.
Right.
Or that I hadn't laughed at before.
Right.
Because I didn't want to be the only person laughing in the movie theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was like...
That's another thing I hate about seeing movies and movies. Like when you find something really fun, or you and your friends, but like no one else does.
Yeah.
Or like when people laugh at a part that's like you think is serious, you're like, shut the fuck up.
Right. That was the thing. And I feel like I finally saw it with the people who I was like, oh, these are the people who I'm going to vibe with the most. Because you also recognize how ridiculous it is when they're ending an argument where Adam Sandler's just like crying in next to like a ruined fish tank, and then his girlfriend shows him her tattooed ass.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yes, that part I enjoyed.
But this trailer,
let's watch it. Yeah.
Let's watch it. It doesn't set up as the kind of movie that like.
All right, Larry, you're a Jew again. Welcome back.
You can probably tell if you're gonna like it or not like it based on this trailer.
But my thing is, I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, this looks cool. This doesn't get across the style of the film because, first of all, the music. Whatever song this is not in the movie at all. I'll tell you that right now. When you watch the movie, it's weird synth sounds from like a 1970s sci-fi movie, and it really takes you out of it. Especially like serious. Like, dude, when he gets shot in the face, it's like, like it doesn't change the tone of the song. The music does not change when he gets shot in the face, and I'm just like laughing. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why? Okay, another thing. So I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking over.
No, you can talk over it. It's fine.
Why did The Weeknd agree to do this movie? Because he just comes off as a huge douchebag in this movie, and also kind of Me Too's himself. Like, there's a scene when they're in the bathroom with his girlfriend, and she's like, no, don't touch. That's a rule. And he keeps doing it. And she goes, no, don't touch. That's a rule. And she's like cornered in this bathroom. And then he's like, feel how hard my dick is. I was like, if I was The Weeknd and I read this script, why would you choose to be in this movie and play yourself? I do not understand. I simply don't get it.
Here's why: The Weeknd is not the worst character in this movie.
Okay.
The Weeknd is not the worst. It's Howard is the worst character.
Well, for sure. By contrast, absolutely.
Actually, no, not even Howard. The guy, the
guy that shoots Howard.
Shoots Howard. That's the worst. That's the worst person in the whole movie.
Dude, honestly, I kind of relate to that guy more than Howard because Howard's so fucking annoying. Dude, when he got shot in the face, I was like, I get it. Yeah, now rob the store. Yeah, this store sucks.
But I didn't want him to get shot in the face.
But I wanted him to.
Man! We're so diametrically opposed on this thing.
I guess I'm just kind of sick of movies where it's just like an anti-hero and they don't learn anything and they're just shitty to everyone around them and you're supposed to feel bad for them. Because there's so many people like that in real life. And I'm just like, I don't have time for you people. I just simply do not. I simply do not.
It's interesting. I like Good Time. I love Uncut Gems, and I'm generally a fan of movies where it's an anti-hero because I know I can have the separation. I don't have to like put up with that kind of bullshit in real life. If I met somebody like Howard Ratner in real life, I would be horrified. And I would distance myself as much as I could from that person.
But the thing is, though, there are people probably like Howard, maybe not in your life, but maybe people that you know, but you don't see the shitty part of them. They're just the hustler part of them where they're all dazzle and they're like, yeah, I got all these, like they're just showing you the glamour part. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And this is what I think the Safdie brothers try and do in their filmmaking.
Yeah.
Because the Safdie brothers are like old school New York dudes. They've lived there, they grew up there their whole life. They continue to live and work out of there, and they have a sort of, it seems like based on their filmmaking, a fascination with this kind of a person.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's something to be said. I fucking wish I could remember what it was called. Could you, Anthony, there's a clip that I don't know if you're going to be able to find it. It's not from Uncut Gems. It's something that I heard the Safdies talk about on another podcast that they did, where it's an inspirational thing for them, and they cast this guy later on in their movie. It's a guy. It's like this real short, ugly dude yelling at a saxophone player or a trumpet player. So if you Google "ugly dude yells at trumpet player," you'll probably find the guy.
They cast him in Uncut Gems?
They didn't cast him in Uncut Gems. Yes, it's this guy. Okay. They didn't cast him in Uncut Gems. They cast him in another one of their movies.
Okay.
But
wait, what movie?
Daddy Longlegs, I think, or Heaven Can Wait. But okay. Yeah. Small angry man yells at trumpet player. So yeah.
How dare you ruin it for everybody else? Get out!
So this is a person who exists. Right. Somehow, some way.
Right.
I don't know why he exists. I don't know why he's just yelling at this man for playing his trumpet.
You're a mediocre piece of shit, you kid. You suck. I've been playing 41 years. You suck.
Wait, did he just say you suck? I've been playing 41 years. So he's mad that he's not playing the trumpet well.
Correct.
He's not mad that he's playing the trumpet.
And
that's
not playing the trumpet well in public. And then he plays the trumpet at him.
Is he trying to hit him with his bag? This is so weird. I love how defiant this trumpet player is. In his face with
the most aggressive trumpet playing I've ever seen in my life.
Really leaning into him.
Where are you from?
Where are you from?
Go to a studio and rehearse. Then you learn. You suck. You're a piece of shit. You told you not to tap it on everybody around you when they want you to not. Get out!
I mean,
how dare you come down here and do this?
How dare you come down here and do this to me? He's like taking it so personally.
You're a disgrace.
What happened to this man right before this video started recording? Like that made him do this to this guy. You know?
Well, I mean, you can see now we're getting zoomed. Now he's walking closer.
He walks so weird. He has got like this weird waddle.
Kind of honest.
Whoa, he looks so weird.
Maybe everybody else wants to enjoy the peace and quiet. This is one of the most important places in all of North
Yeah,
America.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to play piano, and my piano teachers, when I did well, they give out like these little plaster statues of composers. He looks like one of those that melted a little bit. And he's just standing here yelling at this guy. And this video is a long video. It's like 5 or 6 minutes long, I think. And it just continues like this.
Man, he is passionate about this.
But the Safdies saw this, and they were like, this man's brilliant.
Right.
This is the kind of character that we need in a movie. And it's not, I don't want any part of that actually happening in my real life. But I see that and I'm like, it's a good character.
I respect that. Sure. They're pulling talent off, funny YouTube videos. How many directors do that, No, but I get it. I get like having a weird
son of a bitch.
I get having like a weird I did see another YouTube video that was talking about all the stories of some of like the like minor characters cast in Uncut Gems. And they're like, yeah, they're just real life New Yorkers. And I was like, yeah, I could tell. Like I could tell they weren't actors.
Right.
Like his I don't remember the name, but the other guy that works in the store who
the jeweler guys. Or no, the diamond guy.
Yeah, who quits because he gets sick of.
He's like an Instagram diamond jewel influencer.
Yeah, and like there's
that, right?
I don't know, something like that. And there's like a portion of the movie where he's like ranting at Howard, and it just sounds like he's reading it. I'm like, Another thing just takes me out of it.
I mean, I can't disagree with you on that. I have no disagreement there.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it is. There is one part that I will say, and the music is this thing that like everybody sort of, I've heard a lot of people come back to is like the thing that is something that's taking them the most out of the movie.
Yeah.
And there are a couple times where even watching it multiple times, I'm like, this is a really weird musical choice. And one of those scenes in particular, we were just talking about the scene with The Weeknd, is right after they get kicked out of the bar.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and throw that scene on.
Yeah.
Because this musical, the score here takes a real weird turn that we hadn't heard in a while for the rest of the movie. Yeah, let's see old Howie get kicked out of the bar.
Where? I don't mean to get in your business. I don't want to get involved, but I still go to the bathroom at The Weeknd.
Because, you got the sound, all these people talking, you have this music, it's loud, it's uncomfortable, the lighting's weird. Now everybody's going to start yelling at each other.
Jesus, how we were just doing coke. Nothing happened.
And now everyone's going to start yelling, and it's going to be kind of cool, because it's like, oh, it's our Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. I like all this stuff where it's like, I guess period piece is 8 years ago, but like they do have a good representation of like the music.
So then they get outside.
Yep.
Oh, I think this sets the record for the most fucks in a movie.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
You can skip ahead a little bit. Wait till they get a little bit further.
Listen, Howard, you knew what the fuck it was when you met me.
All right. So it's right around here. So let's keep letting this play out.
Oh, wow.
So by the way,
Howard?
yep,
Howard?
Adam Sandler, Julie Fox, great turbulent couple.
Sure.
We don't want to see it work out between them, but we want these crazy kids to make it work out.
I like Julia Fox's character. I will say, happy ending for her in the movie, and that I was happy. I was satisfied with that.
For her.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, Howard? Huh?
And now here comes the score.
Tough guy. What are you fucking do anything with him?
Get the fuck away. Go fuck the guy.
Fuck you, Howard!
Yeah, like I don't know. Do you think the guy that was editing this was like, "Are you guys sure?" Like when they asked him to put this in, he was like, "This sound?
Do you want the chorus sounds from my Casio?" And it's just weird
because it's very like classical music sounding, but with a synthesizer.
And then all right, that's good enough. But that's the thing is like, it's parts like that where you're either gonna just be like, interesting choice, or absolutely fucking not. Get this out of my head.
I think interesting choice, but it's still, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like, I respect making a bold choice, and clearly for them it means something that I just don't get, but I don't like it. You know what I mean?
I think I do.
Like, there's movies where you see and they're making choices and you just don't agree with them, but you're like, hey, hats off to you. That's a bold choice. Like, that's a bold choice.
It's a very bold choice.
Bold choice, but also I resent you for making it.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
So,
hit me with it.
You know, one of the things that I sort of ask sometimes is if there was a way you could fix this movie to make it more to your liking,
ooh, yeah,
what would you do? And I don't know if that's the right question to ask you for this, because I feel like it would
change a lot.
It would have to change a lot.
Yeah.
What I am intrigued by is we seem at a place taste wise, where like we probably have some overlap of the kinds of movies that we like.
Sure.
But on a grand scheme of things, like the kinds of movies that I think are great might not be the kinds of movies that you think are great. So what are some of your like all time?
Oh fuck!
If you had to pick like some of your favorite,
oh shit!
And this doesn't have to. We don't have to pick any genre.
Okay.
Like all time favorite movies.
You know what, dude? It's weird because I feel like I probably do like movies that these guys like. To be honest, like I like Kubrick movies a lot. And I think I can see some influence of him in there. I like Darren Aronofsky, and a lot of his movies are also like,
you like Darren
everything's
Aronofsky
going terrible, but he does it more artfully. And so like Requiem for a Dream, for instance, right?
Yes,
that's a movie you could say is it's similar, but
yeah, I guess
you get to like the characters at the beginning before they fall into the main conflict. So like you care about them. There's nothing in this movie that made me care about Adam Sandler's character at all.
Man.
At all. I had no empathy for him at all. I felt bad for his wife. I felt bad for his kids. I felt bad for Julia. I'm glad she's a millionaire now.
Yeah, she walked away, stacks. You know, she's got duffel bags full of cash. She's got a fat dude with a beard and a robe who's willing to drop everything for her.
All right, let me think of other movies. You list some.
Well, this is some interesting shit. I wish we could. We had more time to dig into it. But that's because it's like, I mean, Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah,
I also like Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah. But it is hard to watch, though.
I don't think I could ever watch Requiem for a Dream ever again.
Yeah,
because it's a different kind of like what I feel when I watch Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Is this sense of it's like I'm riding a really cool roller coaster, right? Like I know I'm gonna get off and I'm gonna have been just like, oh man, I thought I was gonna puke during some of those loop-de-loops or something, right? And I know everything's gonna work out safe and everything's gonna be fine. And fine. I know the ending is Adam Sandler's gonna get shot in the face. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sad, but hey, it was a fun ride, right? And Requiem for a Dream, I feel like is not anywhere. Like I would never feel that emotion watching Requiem for a Dream. I haven't the time I've seen it. It seems like a thing where it's just like, like it's just, you feel like just the knife. It's like you got stabbed in line for the roller coaster.
Yeah.
You just have to feel the knife in your gut.
Yeah, I feel bad for the people in it. Because a lot of them had good intentions and are good people. And especially when the movie starts, especially his mom. Mm-hmm. She's just taking diet pills. She has no idea they're like addictive or whatever.
Right.
And then she ends up like in a fucking mental institution. It's like
getting shocked.
Well, I feel really bad for you. Mm-hmm. And that's unfortunate. There's some social commentary there, but like the pharmaceutical industry, there's like, there's some, take a big bite of meaning out of that.
Right.
I just don't know. I guess you have given me a little perspective from your POV on like Adam Sandler being like an addict and like he's not really in control of himself. I get that. Mm-hmm. So I think this conversation is good ultimately because I can take that away from it, which is something when I was watching it initially, I just didn't really have any empathy for this guy.
Yeah.
Not saying that, it changes my opinion on the film, but I think there could have been more moments where you saw that maybe like where you see how helpless. I mean, he has that scene with Julia. That's like the one scene I can think of where he really breaks down. Mm-hmm. But
he has some like small losses and big loss. Like there's only one big loss in the movie.
Yeah,
he has a couple smaller ones. He has the moment where he has to come clean with his wife.
Yeah,
he has where he loses the auction. And
but all of that is through his own comedy,
fault. Right? Yeah. And it's his own fault too.
It's completely his fault.
I mean, the scene
he's played himself.
where he's in where he's like in the SUV after he gets picked up by Arno and his goons.
Yeah.
And they're just like taking his clothes off and he's just yelling and everyone's yelling at each other. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But also it's just like, oh my, like I'm sitting there every single time watching, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You got to go to a meeting, dude. Come on,
right.
This you could not be. You don't have to be a part of any of this.
Right.
But I don't know. It's interesting to hear
because there's just so many opportunities for him to just take the exit ramp, and he just doesn't.
But
I get it.
That's the thing I get too.
It's his thrill.
It's the thrill.
It. Yeah,
it's the thrill of the fucking chase, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the best way to end this episode is for us to wipe our slate clean and watch the last little bit of the movie so we can feel satisfaction in our own ways.
Let's do it.
Because we know what happens.
We know what happens.
I have a question for you while we're watching this.
Yeah.
So, okay. Have you ever done any like sports betting? You ever fuck around with that?
Yeah.
Knowing how that feels, how did watching this whole sequence play out feel? Were you like, oh God?
I think this part, I was, the third act for me, I was like, okay, cool, shit is happening. It was a little bit more exciting. And yeah, like I get the thrill of like watching a game, especially if you have money on it. So like that way I could relate. I also fucking love this weird guy with the mop hair.
He's great.
Yeah, he looks like. Have you ever seen that SNL sketch with Bill Hader where he has the puppets?
Yeah, he looks like
Bill Hader's puppet. Yeah.
Spot on.
I do like that it's like real footage and stuff from the game.
Yeah. I like this. There's something.
Like this guy's just like, I'm gonna fucking kill him. He's like, as soon as we get out of here, I'm fucking killing this guy.
As soon as it happens. See, this is where the playing up the tension actually pays off.
Right.
Because you get to feel the relief.
Right, of course, but goddamn it's so long. It takes so long to get here.
It's 2 hours and 14 minutes.
I know. There is fluff in this movie. There's scenes where I'm like, you didn't need. I went back and like watched through it before this. The whole scene where they like drive to the practice. You didn't need that scene. Nothing happens.
You're right.
Nothing happens.
It just sets up that he's mad at Damani for later.
But he was already mad at him before.
He
so
was.
Just like take it out.
Oh my God! Yeah! Oh my God!
So you get a little hopeful music. It's not oppressive. Everything's fine.
Right.
You know, they just hit the
You're
bet.
like, okay, cool. This is why I watched this for 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Yay!
It's paying off.
Yay!
Happy ending.
Do we just win? Oh my fucking God! Are you kidding me?
And you get to see Julia be happy. And who doesn't want to see Julia be
At least
happy?
he gets that closure, you know?
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
And they say, I love you. That's nice.
I love you. 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 I love you.
He really is a piece of shit, though.
He's such
Howard's
a
such a piece of
scumbag.
shit.
Such a scumbag.
But I don't know if this could have worked with anyone besides Adam Sandler to play a lovable scumbag like this.
I know. Thank you. Thank you.
If it wasn't Adam Sandler, I don't know if I'd like this movie as much. It was supposed to be Jonah Hill after Adam Sandler turned it down. Did you know that?
What? That's
They
a
fired
different movie.
Jonah Hill and brought Adam Sandler back. I'm not watching Jonah Hill do this for 2 hours.
Yes.
I'm very happy to watch Adam Sandler do this for 2 hours.
They fucking walk him to the car, and they're gonna. All right, I'm gonna fuck you a place. All right, I'll call you back. Son of a bitch. Oh no, I can't fucking do it.
Aw, man.
Yeah, I still don't feel anything, you know? I'm kind of like happy he's dead.
I feel everything.
Because Julia doesn't have a family.
Shut the fuck up.
You know? She needs that money. She's a good girl. She's a good gal.
Yeah, she does.
And then he kills this guy too. He's like, hey, yeah, fuck you.
And then they just steal everything from the jewelry store. Yeah.
But you know, we still have this peaceful, like, guided meditation music going on as this guy gets capped in the skull.
You know, I do listen to this soundtrack when I write sometimes.
Dude, I could see
It's a
that.
good
Like
soundtrack.
so if I was writing a scene where you were doing writing, that's some appropriate music if you ask me.
You know what?
If someone gets shot in the head, I don't know if I choose that music, but they clearly had something where they're like, we're gonna make this bold choice. And they went for it. And you know what? Hats off to them. It wasn't for me.
I might go home and do some of that after this episode. But you know what?
Yeah, man, power to you.
I'm not going to get shot in the face like dumbass Howard Ratner
I hope
did.
not. Yeah, please don't.
Well, Kyle, I'm glad we were able to have a nice, peaceful discussion about this movie.
Me too, man.
This
was fun.
This is fun.
Thanks for having me.
This is not what frankly, it's not what I expected.
Oh, did you think it was going to be like more butting heads?
I thought it was going to be more butting heads, but this is the thing. Like as soon as I saw you tweet it, I was like, I felt affronted, and then I thought about it more, and I was like, no, I get it, because this movie.
It's a divisive movie.
It's a divisive movie.
Yeah,
it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And for all of the reasons that you don't like it are totally valid.
Yes,
but it's two sides of the same coin. And Howard is going to bet on that coin flip.
My opinion can't exist without your opinion. You know what I mean?
Yin and yang.
Yeah, exactly.
Kyle, you are a wonderful guest. Thanks for coming on. Where can the listeners find you on the internet?
My username for Instagram and Twitter is @KyleRehl. It's KyleRehl, baby.
Cool. Yeah. Give him a follow. You can find me @DietJ on Twitter and Instagram. jlightcomedy.com for videos, podcast stuff, show dates, patreon.com/blockbusting if you want to get some sweet Patreon bonuses. And this has been Blockbusting. Go see something good for a change.